Right now, the Frozen Assets Festival brings winter fun to Lake Mendota. We'll take you there. Plus, we detail efforts by local high schoolers to help combat food insecurity in our community. And we're following the chase in Monona that ended in a department store, what we know so far. That's all coming up on News 3 Now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. The Frozen Assets Festival is back on Lake Mendota. The event raises money to protect our lakes here in Madison, and our Tanisha Shaw is on the ice with more.
Skating. I love skating on the ice. I think in the winter it's one of the best things you can do.
It's typical to see ice skaters on Lake Mendota in the winter. Saturday, hundreds of people got on the ice to give back.
We're really excited because we almost had 800 people come out and do the Frozen Fun run walk on the lakes.
Colin Bailey is a junior at UW and says seeing people on the ice with him is refreshing.
It's so nice, especially in the winter when usually you walk around and you don't see that many people. When you're out on the ice with everyone, it's amazing.
In addition to skating, attendees saw dancing, science experiments, kites, and more.
14 to 16 inches thick of ice, which turns this into Wisconsin's biggest outdoor park.
The festival wraps up Sunday evening. It has already raised more than $30,000.
Clean Lakes is all about creating watershed stewardship for people to know what they can do. So we do education, water quality monitoring, volunteerism, beach cleanups.
If you can't make it out this year, it's okay. There's ways to support Madison's lakes throughout the year.
Volunteerism and remembering, salt on the sidewalks, anything like that, it's better to sweep that up and don't over salt your driveway or your sidewalk.
Reporting in Madison, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
Tanisha, thank you. Well, it was the perfect day to be out there on the lakes today. Let's see if that'll continue as we head into the rest of the week. Blaze, what should we expect?
Well, we are going to expect quieter conditions for your Sunday. So if you didn't like today, maybe you wanted more sunshine, well, out on the lakes tomorrow, we're going to get that. Temperatures remaining below freezing, so that ice will continue to remain or thicken up. I know we've had a couple of warm days over the last few weeks, so these cooler temperatures will certainly help solidify that ice. We did get a little bit of snow today. You can see the estimated snow totals on your screen now. Most of us didn't really pick up even an inch of snow. We only got a dusting here outside of the studio. Further to the north, mainly north of the Dells, that's where we at least broke into that inch mark marked by the light blue. The last of the flurries are wrapping up. There's still a few snowflakes falling outside the studio, but the accumulating snow has long since wrapped up, and overnight into and throughout your Sunday, we're going to remain partly cloudy to mostly clear and then turning mostly sunny as we go throughout your Sunday. Single digits to mid-teens tonight, a little bit cooler where we're going to see more of that cloud cover chip away further north along with that fresh snow. We are tracking maybe a few more chances for snow over the extended forecast looking at midweek next week, so we'll track that out in the full forecast.
Sounds good, Blaze. We'll see you in just a bit. And speaking of tracking things out, you can stay up to date on the First Warn Forecast Weather app. It is hourly forecast, road conditions, and the latest radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather. Now to an active Amber Alert for a teen from Beaver Dam. Authorities continue to look for 16-year-old Sophia Franklin. Now, take a look at your screen. Franklin is believed to be 3 months pregnant. She was last seen Monday with 40-year-old Gary Day. Day is believed to be the father of her child. Now, the Amber Alert is extended to Arkansas, and authorities say Day was last seen in a 2014 Buick LaCrosse registered in Pennsylvania with the plate numbers KGW 5186. Again, those plate numbers were KGW 5186. Excuse me. The Wisconsin State Journal is apologizing to my apologies to its subscribers after not publishing their print and e-papers this week. They have now confirmed they were a victim of a cybersecurity attack and have notified law enforcement. In today's paper, the Journal says Lee Enterprises, the parent company of the Wisconsin State Journal and 14 other newspapers in Wisconsin, was the victim of a cybersecurity event that shut down many of its networks this week. They go on to say the company is working to identify and implement steps to prevent this from happening again. A driver is dead after a crash in Mineral Point Friday afternoon. The crash happened just before 5 p.m. on the U.S. Highway 151 near mile marker 39, where a single southbound vehicle went off the road and struck a rock wall. They were ejected from the vehicle and life-saving efforts were unsuccessful. They were pronounced dead at the scene by the Iowa County Coroner's Office. The driver was identified as Anthony Wendt of Platteville. And Monona police say a person is arrested following a chase early this afternoon. According to police, they attempted to perform a traffic stop on West Broadway in Monona a little before 1 p.m. They say the subject refused to stop, driving onto Highway 12 and exiting onto Stoughton Road. The vehicle's tires were successfully deflated by police, but the suspect did not stop, attempting to discard evidence by tossing items out of their window. The chase ended in a department store where the suspect was arrested after exiting their car, causing it to hit an unoccupied vehicle. Police say they have located a 9mm firearm, marijuana, and dozens of counterfeit $100 bills in connection to the chase. The Garden and Green Living Expo is this weekend in Madison's Alliant Energy Center. The event, in its 32nd annual iteration, aims to connect gardeners and environmental enthusiasts. Organizers say the expo acts as a nice break from the barren sites commonplace during the winter season and spans a wide range of outdoor professions.
Over the course of the weekend, we have over 140 educational sessions available. Those are seminars and demonstrations. And then we have just a ton of professionals in their field. We have landscapers, we have houseplant people, we've got natural lawns, anything you could be looking for in the outdoors, garden art, pottery. I mean, we've got it here.
Now, if you have a green thumb but you missed out on the fun so far, the event runs tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 4. 1 in 10 people are facing food insecurity in Wisconsin, but Middleton high schoolers are taking matters into their own hands. Our Elia Liberté has the story.
We're with Middleton Meals Matter, and we're hosting a food drive for our local food pantry today. If you could get anything on that list and donate right over there, it'd be greatly appreciated.
When we started this, we never could imagine how rewarding it could feel, seeing like all these people coming to food drives, being excited to volunteer, being excited to donate.
Middleton High School seniors Wyatt Earhart and Noah Duckett have a vision.
We wanted to make an impact somewhere, and we wanted to help our community.
A vision to fight food insecurity.
And when we heard that that food insecurity was at an all-time, a 30-year all-time high, we knew something had to be done.
So they co-founded Middleton Meals Matter.
We've been going for 7 months now.
And in those 7 months, they've raised roughly 26,000 pounds of food and nearly $20,000.
We never imagined, I mean, honestly, the first time we were planning like this whole thing, we wrote down on a piece of paper, like our goals for this year were to raise like 200 pounds of food.
Partnering with Way Forward Food Pantry.
And one thing they said is how grateful they were for us and us being here. They just ran out of toilet paper and we came in and refilled all their stocks. You know, it's something that seems so small, but we can really see the impact firsthand.
So once a month, the group gets outside stores like this one.
Have a good one.
To continue the food fight.
So if you can do something, do something. These people are great for sitting out in the cold and trying to get people to donate a few things so somebody can maybe have a little something.
Reporting in Madison, Elia Liberté, News 3 Now.
Ellie, thank you. The group is also working to promote youth volunteering, going to middle and elementary schools and talking with other districts to help expand the program. Great job, guys. And coming up next, Blaze Color returns with a complete look of your First Warn forecast. But first, another busy week in politics. What's next for the USAID and the Department of Education? Plus, how the bird flu is impacting more than just egg prices.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Thank you for staying with us. USAID workers who are set to be placed on leave Friday were given a reprieve by a federal judge who granted a preliminary injunction. Unions representing those workers sued the government over the abrupt attempted shutdown of the agency. This comes as the Department of Government Efficiency is preparing to take action at the Education Department, which Trump has threatened to shut down. Willie James Emden reports from Washington.
Protesters opposing President Trump's immigration policy stood outside his International Golf Club in West Palm Beach Saturday.
With the head of steam that President Trump has being swept into office, with this as the centerpiece of his agenda.
On Friday night, President Trump hosted a group of Republican senators at his Florida resort. He's trying to build congressional support for a massive bill to keep the government running, cut taxes, and fund border security. The move comes as Trump works to downsize the government by offering employees a buyout option and placing thousands of workers at USAID on administrative leave. Both actions are pending and under legal review. A group of U.S. representatives tried to enter the Department of Education to meet with Acting Secretary of Education Denise Carter. They were denied entry.
Already, Trump and Musk have placed DOGE staffers in the building where they have access to the private data of millions of students and families.
The Department of Education is among several government agencies President Trump has under the microscope.
Pentagon, education, just about everything.
With help from Elon Musk and his program known as the Department of Government Efficiency.
On Sunday, President Trump will leave Florida and travel to New Orleans, and that's where he will become the first sitting U.S. president to attend the Super Bowl. Willie James Inman, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
Let's get a look at your first one forecast. Meteorologist Blaise Keller joins us now.
And we're looking at maybe the middle of next week, bringing parts of at least southern Wisconsin and the Midwest their next chance for a little bit of snow. Latest model data coming in doesn't look too promising, but again, we are still several days out. Things are going to be changing. We're not going to see any big changes like it moving to further parts of, say, the deep south. It's probably going to stay in the Midwest, but the path is going to change just a little bit, and that's going to inevitably change what you'll see as we look towards the future. So the European model and the GFS model are both depicting this system moving through sometime later Wednesday overnight into early Thursday. As I mentioned, new data is coming in, so this is the GFS's last look, not the latest look, but the most recent look. And the European model is somewhat similar. A little bit further to the south, that snow is not extending as far north. Both of these systems, though, are going to be coming out of the deep south and taking a very similar path to the system that just moved through the Midwest Friday into this morning. It's going to be moving along the Ohio River as we go into your Thursday morning. The center of low pressure somewhere in the St. Louis area with the GFS. And if we look at the European model, the very similar path, but the center of low pressure is a little bit further to the south and east. Even that little bit, a mere couple of hundreds of miles, it may not look like a huge difference on the map, and it may not look like a huge difference when you're comparing the two, but that difference does take more of that moisture with it. So if we're eyeing for the best chance for moisture, we kind of want it to stay further north and west, getting as close as it can to that blue path there. Right now, both systems are really both models have this system taking this green path following the Ohio River, still not out of the area to which it wouldn't give us snow, but we obviously want it closer to the Chicagoland area. If we can get that center of low pressure as close to, if not over the Chicago area, the best chance we're going to have of getting, well, a decent amount of snow. Right now, the feature track snow totals anywhere between 2 to 4 inches, and don't necessarily focus on the numbers because, again, these are going to be changing even 24 hours from now. The big takeaway is that both models are really not bringing a lot of snow to the northwest and keeping a lot more of that snow chance to not only the south, but especially the south and east. When it comes to our winter storm forecasting timeline, we're here at day 4 to 6. So we're looking at the regions impacted, again, the Midwest. The timing still to be determined, but it's pretty much looking like later Wednesday night into early Thursday with vague snow totals. Obviously, once we get closer to that 24 to 48 hour time frame, we're going to get a much clearer picture as to what this system will inevitably bring to Wisconsin. 20s tomorrow, mostly sunny conditions for Super Bowl Sunday, and it was a year ago today that Wisconsin recorded its first ever February tornadoes to touch down during the month in the state's recorded history. Communities like Fulton, Evansville, Judah, and Albany were impacted by either an EF1 or an EF2 tornado. Tunasia was down there yesterday. We have her full story on our website. I have a whole write-up about why that happened last year in our latest Beyond the Barometer. I encourage you to look at both of those. In the meantime, no warm temperatures, no severe weather by any means, just some snow maybe Wednesday, and then again as we round out next week, possibly dealing with another round of snow starting Valentine's Day through that following Sunday.
And, you know, mentioning you're beyond the barometer and that those tornadoes last year, it's just so good to hear that those communities have recovered from this.
Yes, yeah. You know, thankfully, the damage was extensive, but you know, thankfully there were no serious injuries, no fatalities. But yeah, they really did a great job of building back a year later.
Absolutely, a lot of people rallied in. Just speaks to the nature of southern Wisconsin.
Of course, yes.
Sounds good. Thank you, Blaze. To the CBS Money Watch now, and those soaring egg prices. It's stressing out American consumers, leading to a rush at stores and thefts. Blame bird flu. In just the last month, it's infected nearly 23 million birds. CBS's Ali Bowman is in New York and has more on what some are calling a crisis.
Have you ever seen this before?
From customers stockpiling cartons at Costco to thieves hatching plots to steal them, people are getting desperate.
There's not an egg to be found.
Some chains, including Trader Joe's, are capping how many eggs customers can buy. This cashier says the store can't keep up with demand.
Just calling constantly like, oh, are they in the back? But like we literally have none.
How have you been finding the egg prices?
They're high, and you know, a lot of people are getting hurt by it.
In the past week, 100,000 eggs were stolen from this distribution center in Pennsylvania, and thieves nabbed over 500 from this cafe in Seattle.
It's not just the price, but also it's really hard to get. Sometimes you order it and they'll never show up.
Nationwide, entire flocks of birds have been killed to stop the spread of avian flu, which is almost always fatal for domestic poultry. One person in Louisiana died after contracting the flu from infected backyard birds. Several strains of bird flu have been passed to dairy cattle, sickening at least 67 people. But the CDC says the risk to humans is still low. Experts in food safety say the chicken we eat is safe.
There have been a couple of outbreaks on broiler farms, but really not much.
And that means just like eggs, the packaged raw chicken that you find at your grocery store has been inspected and is free of bird flu, which includes chicken wings, the Super Bowl party favorite. Ali Bowman, CBS News, New York.
Fingers crossed things can lighten up. Coming up next, Wisconsin men's basketball in Iowa City taking on the Hawkeyes. Our Andrew Banstrid brings us the highlights.
Back in early January, the Wisconsin men beat down on Iowa, scoring a Kohl Center record 116 points behind a Big Ten record 21 three-pointers made. The Badgers were down in Iowa City today looking for the season sweep. But that beatdown, it left some bad blood between the rivals, and it showed on the court. It played more like a tennis match than a basketball game. John Blackwell got the scoring started, sticking a three and flipping the calendar back to January. Wisconsin's Johns, Blackwell, and Tanjay were terrific as always. Trailing 26-24 late in the first half, it was Tanjay's turn. He drills a triple of his own, and they needed all the offense they could get. Because even in the second half, the Hawkeyes just would not go away. Leading 62-59, and Max Klesmit makes magic, finding Tanjay for the triple, giving the Badgers a 6-point lead, which at that time was the largest margin we'd seen in the game. Tanjay finished with a game-high 22, and Blackwell, well, he finished off the game. Pulls up from mid-range and connects, extending the Badger lead that would balloon to as much as 11. Wisconsin wins it 74-63. Here's Greg Gard on the hard-fought win, and both of the Johns on each other.
I think this is a really, really good team, and really good teams win in a multitude of ways and find ways to win. And in this group, when we were back and forth in the first half, I thought we had more of an edge to us in the second half and more of a bite to us, specifically on the defensive end, and that ignited some things for us offensively.
He was huge. He was aggressive from the jump. He was being a vocal leader today as well. So he was tremendous down the stretch and just, a big part of the win. He competes every single day. He's the guy that we absolutely need, for our success. And today was just a testament to that.
It's amazing. Playing alongside him is just, he's one of the best players I've played with throughout my career. And he just finds a knack for scoring. If his shot's not falling, he finds a way to get fouled and get to the rim. And then he's just a humble dude all around. Like, even if he doesn't have a good game, he's still the same energy. So I love him for that. I love playing with him.
The Badgers improved to 9-4 in conference play with the win, but to get their 10th Big Ten win will be their biggest challenge yet. They get the next 7 days to prepare before next Saturday they go to Purdue. For now at Carver Hawkeye Arena in Iowa City, Andrew Banstra, News 3 Sports.
Sounds good, Andrew. Thank you. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs are looking to make history in Super Bowl 59. The team could become the first NFL team to win 3 straight Super Bowls. CBS's Omar Villafranca is in New Orleans and tells us why a three-peat could be costly.
If the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday and take home their 3rd Super Bowl title in a row, one of the biggest winners won't be on the field.
Love you all.
Pat Riley is an NBA coaching legend who just happens to own the trademark for the term three-peat. Riley legally locked down the term three-peat in 1988 when he was head coach of the Showtime Los Angeles Lakers.
The foresight here is pretty impressive because obviously three-peat has become a valuable term.
Professor Alexandra Roberts with Northeastern University School of Law says Riley's trademark even includes various spellings.
Every different iteration of this term that you could imagine, he has registered.
So if a team wins the rare 3 championships in a row, they'll have to pay Pat Riley to use the term three-peat on their merchandise, from hats to shirts.
If the Chiefs win and they three-peat and it shows up on merchandise, Pat Riley could get paid.
Absolutely true. He's licensed it a few times in the past for $300,000, $600,000. Putting that in 2025 terms, we're already well into the millions.
Earlier this week, we ran into Chiefs owner Clark Hunt and asked him if his team pulled off the historic win, would he be willing to pay to put three-peat on merchandise?
We've got a very difficult task on Sunday, playing a very good Philadelphia Eagle team. If we're lucky enough to win the game, we'll worry about the trademark issues.
Omar Villafranca, CBS News, New Orleans.
Now, since the term is trademarked, only a handful of pro teams have three-peated. The Yankees, the Lakers, the Bulls, and the WNBA Comets. Interesting note now, Pat Riley himself has never been part of a pro three-peat. We'll be back with more after the break. All right, Blaze, so we're a little bit past the 24-hour mark when kickoff starts for the Super Bowl. Super Bowl halftime performance favorites?
Probably in the one that's coming to my mind is when Beyonce brought out Destiny's Child.
2012.
Yeah, gosh, that was a long time
Time's
ago.
flying.
Yours?
My favorite would be Dre Day. Super Bowl between the Bengals and the Rams about 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
We'll have to see how Kendrick and SZA do. I'm excited for it, yeah.
I think it'll be good.
I think it'll be good too. I mean, they both are great in their own genres, but then they've had great music together.
Yeah.
So it'll be good.